Hey guys, Dantix here. With the release of Borderlands 4, many of us have been asking, what's next? Well, quite a lot actually. Borderlands has a significant roadmap and this is a great time to analyze all of it. What are we getting in the near future? Well, per lesson drops, a new Vault Hunter, more Ultimate Vault Hunter ranks, story DLC, Mad Alley and the Vault of the Damned, new areas, a free Battle Pass like reward system, balancing new legendaries and more post-release content, both paid and free. So let's get right into it. Horrors of Kairos is going to be the first stage of post-launch content coming. It's free content that will include new legendary weapons, new cosmetics and new weather variants. They call it a seasonal mini event and it's set for October. Because it releases so close to Borderlands 4, they state they didn't want to make any sweeping changes. Gearbox says to expect some tweaks to gameplay with some spooky vibes for a limited time. So it does seem like you need to log in and engage with this content in order to unlock the cosmetics or you'll miss out. You may be confused about more weather. Yes, besides it turning from night to day and back again, there already is weather in the game. The fact they use plurals for these means that I'm hoping there'll be multiple spooky based weathers and multiple legendaries, not just one. I'm hoping for some weapons that encourage you to use things other than balloons and sluggers. Now, after the Horrors of Kairos is the first premium paid content release. If you purchase the Super Deluxe versions, you'll be interested to know that all the stuff we'll be talking about will be included in the version you have. So when I say paid, I mean if you haven't already paid. In this bounty pack, you'll have new missions that seemingly lead into a new boss. The devs state they are similar to the Headhunter packs that were in Borderlands 2. A new set of missions focus on a character and a theme, followed by a boss. They would have said all new bosses instead of boss if there were multiple. We'll also be getting new legendary gear, as well as what's called a Vault card. These were in Borderlands 3 and is almost a Battle Pass like thing, wherein the more experience you get, the further along the pass you go, getting rewards as you progress. It comes with 24 cosmetics and 4 pieces of re-rollable gear. This probably means you can re-roll it to the stats you want. Not sure how often you could do this or how. Maybe you'll also be able to improve their level so you can use them as you level up. Will be interesting to see at the very least. Now, the first pack will be focused on Rush, the leader of the Outbounders in the Fade Fields. The hint is he will be spreading holiday cheer, which is very on character with this guy. It also means it's releasing close to Christmas. I mean, these mock-ups here lock that in, right? Tin Man and Reindeer cosmetics. We also get one Vault Hunter style. Based on the art here, it seems like one style for each Vault Hunter. You also get an Echo 4 drone skin and one vehicle skin. So this pack will most likely be about the cosmetics, with the new legendaries and most likely shorts of the missions and boss as a bonus. Though the devs do state they will have daily and weekly missions around this pack as well, but not sure what that entails. Then at the seemingly end of the year, we'll be getting some more free content. It comes with the first Invincible Boss. These won't actually be invincible, just like the comic book character of the same name, but they will be high-level boss variants in new arenas. So yes, they will be bosses you've already seen, but powered-up versions intended to be the ultimate challenge, so don't expect it to be easy to beat them. Naturally, this pack comes with more legendaries, perhaps to make this easier. It does seem like introducing more legendaries is a good way to balance things. Perhaps a skill tree was getting no love, like Vex's face familiar line, and a legendary drops to make her pet OP somehow. Now it's more useful. I digress, we're also getting an additional Ultimate Vault Hunter mode level. So this means we're going up to Ultimate Vault Hunter rank 6. Perhaps this boss can only be fought at rank 6 or it's used to unlock it. I suspect the content will come with new challenges within Ultimate Vault Hunter rank 5, followed by replaying a mission with modifiers in order to unlock Ultimate Vault Hunter rank 6, like we had to do with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 before it. At the end of the challenge is the Invincible Boss. At least, I hope so. It would be a fun bit of progression. I suspect this is how it's laid out because the devs do state there are multiple Invincible Bosses planned, and each adds a new Ultimate Vault Hunter rank. So it's confirmed that they are tied to ranks in some way. Yes, this also means in the future, there will be more of these ranks, so you'll go beyond 6. So at the start of the year, there'll be the second bounty pack. It contains the same range of new items as the first bounty pack, except it adds a player skin. Like the Ultimate Vault Hunter style, I hope this is for all characters as well. Now, Pearlescent Rarity will be making its appearance during this pack's release. It's a rarity of loot that has the pearlescent effect and no doubt will be extremely rare. We know shiny weapons are currently in the game and are also extremely rare, but this will be one step beyond that. When these can drop, which is probably in narrow situations, the drop rate is apparently less than 1%, so you will feel rewarded when you do find one. I hope legendaries in this pack are added into the world loot pool or the boss loot pool instead of being simply an event-based reward. If they're tied to the new bosses as their dedicated loot drops, we have an ongoing way to get these, which I would appreciate. Further on in the first quarter of the year is the first story pack. Now this is paid as well, but will include a lot of things. This is the first of 2 apparently giant story missions that Gearbox has been working on. They say these stories are a chance for them to experiment and explore all the new features of Borderlands 4, so expect some wackiness in the DLC, like we've seen before in the Borderlands series. In fact, Randy mentions that the story is pretty cool, and we might get to kill someone we've wanted to kill for a long while, then says, to complete silence, "What you want?" So yeah, hopefully he didn't spoil too much, but he kinda did because now we know Earl is on the chopping block. So this first DLC will apparently be reminiscent of Guns, Love and Tentacles, one of the Borderlands 3 DLCs that had an eldritch horror theme, as well as a gay wedding theme, but I hope they're done with weddings. It does seem that way as they state they're leaning into cosmic horror, and it will be bloodier and darker. It will feature Ellie and be called Mad Ellie and the Vault of the Damned. So apparently Ellie finds herself in a spookier area, a brand new map zone, and she's not quite feeling herself. Maybe that's Dr. Z zombie vibes, but we'll just have to wait and see. There will be new challenges, confirmed new enemies and new loot. Best of all, we're getting a new playable Vault Hunter with this DLC. The hint is, this guy has a lot up his sleeves. I'm thinking since Randy Pitchford likes to practice magic in his spare time and has a magic club in LA, this new DLC character will be a male knife-throwing magician of some kind. Borderlands 3 never received new characters, and we know that in Borderlands 2, the DLC characters were some of the most popular, so I'm glad to see another planned. Now, we also get 4 new Vault Hunter heads and styles, 4 new weapon skins, 2 vehicle skins, 3 Echo 4 skins, and 1 Echo 4 frame. However, we're getting 6 attachments. I hope this means there are 6 more manufacturer attachments that can roll on loot, because frankly, the loot pool feels a little shallow right now, and getting an Order or Ripper roll really feels like a downgrade in my opinion. I hate the charging mechanics, and I even predicted they'll suck all the way back when we first demoed the game, so I think I'll spot on with that one. Anyway, I hope that means more manufacturer attachments, else that means Echo 4 hats and stuff, which is frankly, I hate to admit it, much more likely. Then finally, beyond the first quarter of 2026, we'll be getting Bounty Packs 3 and 4, which means more cosmetics, legendaries, and missions, as well as the next story pack. No doubt they haven't finished or even started working on this yet, so there's no information on it. But you may have already paid for it depending on which version of Borderlands 4 you have. Then we also get the remaining Invincible Bosses. They say, and more below it, but this is really a placeholder promise. Don't forget, on a weekly rotation, we're still receiving missions for a guaranteed legendary, a new black market location, and Moxie's big encore rotates to a new boss. So that's an ongoing reason to log back in. Now, it was mentioned by the creative director that the infamous and frankly ridiculously broken throwing knife ordnance with the always crit augment is not going to be acted on immediately. Actually, I did also mention in the preview season that this was going to be overpowered, so I think I'm 2 for 2, right guys? Instead of nerfing this, they're looking for a round of buffs. The knife will be addressed, but first is buffing up underperforming gear and skills. If you remember, the first thing Gearbox did in Wonderlands was nerf some of the overperforming metrics, and it did cause some division. They seem to have learned from this, but the unfortunate truth is that the crit knives are just so damn good that they invalidate so many pieces of gear and so many skills and passives. Introducing new legendaries in, say, the free Horrors of Kairos update may serve to add some balance too, offering new ways to play or new builds. There are a lot of buffs needed in the game, especially to anything that isn't a Jacobs. Look, Jacobs are my favorite manufacturer, so more than ever, I want the other manufacturers to be buffed so I can run my Jacobs build. without feeling like I'm just running the flavor of the month loadouts. Buffs in the PvE game can only bring good. At the very least, a new build to try, and at the most, more diversity. So we'll just have to see what the future holds for Borderlands 4. Now, before I sign off, please support the channel by checking this out. You see, on September the 26th, Magic the Gathering's next set, Marvel's Spider-Man, is swinging onto shelves. This is the perfect set to begin your Magic journey. It has cards like Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, and of course, Peter Parker, the amazing Spider-Man, with brand new mechanics to mix up the formula. It also wouldn't be Spider-Man without these beautiful comic book inspired borderless panel cards and iconic covers. You might even get lucky and pull the fabled Soul Stone, or a pigeon. If you're a Marvel collector or a fan of competitive trading card games, there are bundles to get you started and even borderless scene cards. To find out more, check out the link below. I can't help it, let's crack some packs now. These are some of my favorite pulls from collector packs. I love the comic book art treatment of new and returning cards, and I can't wait to build a deck around them. So thanks to Marvel and Wizards for sponsoring this video and letting me experience this amazing Spider-Man set early. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, ciao friends.